Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the crooked show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. I got my man Donovan Sadiq in the building, the Queen, Demetri K, and I am the 5-star general. Joe Biden look like he's setting the game up. The Donald just might be on his way back in 2024. But along the way, he's going to lose two pieces to his chessboard, the House and the Senate. Let's talk about it. Say, man, I want to welcome you all to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for tuning in, because, you know, without you guys, we would not have a show. And we really appreciate you taking the time out to hang out with us. I want to start it off by saying I read an article of a young man that lost his job at a university. Well, he got kicked out of the university. He wasn't working now because he made a comment that a boy is a boy and a woman is a woman. And they felt that he was wrong for saying that. If you're a boy, Damon, you're a boy. I'd love to get him on the War Zone, because you can say it on here and ain't nothing gonna happen to you, big homie. Today in Little Rock, Arkansas, another school shooting. Man, can't y'all white folk just get along? Tell your kids to get along or something. Y'all steady running up in these schools with them AR-15s and wanting to kill everybody, but they put that iron on his ass today. They thought he was dead, but he's still breathing. Donovan, what's happening, man?
Hey. Welcome, everybody, to the Monday edition of the War Zone. We're happy to have you guys here. You know, if you're not working, you're not going back to work, got nothing else to do. Cannabis stocks are on the rise. And like I said, as long as y'all want to beam up out of here, I make money. So continue to do so. But in the news today, Donald Trump, as you guys know, talked at CPAC. He has hinted that he may come back. If not, he has compiled an enemies list of Republicans that voted against him. It also has been leaked that Donald Trump is dead broke from his taxes. They're saying this man is dead broke. He was never a billionaire. All that, as we know, if you guys have been paying attention, we know the guy just talks shit, swallows spit. Nothing else to that. But how many of you guys know this? How many of you guys sit there and you watch CNN and you're thinking you're getting a nice and balanced view of where the country is going? You can't watch Fox News because that's not real news. As they've said, it's entertainment and opinionated. And MSNBC is the other side of it. So you got the left, you got the right. So you guys think that CNN is the balance point of both of these newscasts. Well, the head of CNN is the very guy that brought Donald Trump to NBC and started The Apprentice. Now Donald Trump has come out of from under his rock, and guess who is going to be giving him the press? Because, you know, these Democrats remember this. I want you guys to remember this very, very soon. Just the threat of Donald Trump coming back. Oh, he's coming back. Y'all got to get to the polls. You remember last time he was in office? What's going to happen? They're going to create this boogeyman syndrome all over again to get all you handkerchief head civil rights people talking about, oh, we just got to keep him out of office. You know, I know you didn't do nothing for us, Mr. Biden. I know, he didn't have time, but we got to get Trump out because that's the exponential threat. Get ready for that narrative that's going to be done by CNN.
So hello, beautiful people out there in Facebook and YouTube land. Thank you once again for joining us on this Monday of the War Zone. If you could do us a favor and share this live so that everybody else can get the information and join in on the conversation, we would greatly appreciate it. So let's just go ahead and get started. We are, as you guys may have seen, talking about Donald Trump. He was at the CPAC convention, which stands for Conservative Political Action Conference. The conference has been in existence since 1973. Ronald Reagan at the time, who was governor, he kicked off the inaugural speech. And what it is it's a convention where they invite conservatives and Republican candidates or just political figures to come and speak about whatever it is. I guess it's like some sort of a powwow. But as of recently, in the last couple of years, probably since its inception, we've seen a bunch of wackos go and speak. And, one of the wackos that were speaking was Donald Trump. He spoke yesterday at the convention, and you guys might have saw that golden statue that they erected in his honor, which is kind of weird and creepy, but whatever. And everybody was just Trump, 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 just big up in him and all kind of stuff. And Trump said, I'm going to come back, for lack of better words, and I'm going to win for a third time. So some of you are probably like, well, what's the third time? Because, he's only been elected once. But so he won in 2016, said he was cheated in 20 or 21, however you want to say it. And then he's going to win in 2024 when he comes back. Now, also during that speech, he took a couple of Republicans to task. He said some rhinos are basically not like the rest of us. They are going to destroy the Republican Party. And so we need to get rid of them. And he named Mitch McConnell and Lindsey, what's her name? Liz Cheney, rather. And a couple of other Republicans who have just been against him in his opinion. So he says they need to be primary. They need to go. And so as of now, Trump said he is coming back for 2024. So we're going to start that discussion off with that. What say you, Gary?
The question is needs something catastrophic to happen to galvanize his people again. And the only thing that really needs to happen for him to galvanize his people is Joe Biden stay on the track that he's on. And if he stays on the track that he's on, Trump is going to be a heavyweight. But we said that before the election, if he lost, he wasn't going away. He wasn't going away. He going to stay in the game some kind of way. And contrary to popular opinion, it didn't take much for them to beat him. They barely beat him. And if Joe screws this up, then you can best believe that a lot of people just think that Negroes just going to vote for Joe. No, you made a whole bunch of promises, homeboy. And honestly, Joe's not doing nothing, and I don't see him doing anything but setting the game up for Trump to come back. I think he gonna do it. I mean, he ain't got nothing else to do. I think he gonna try to come back and do it again. Donovan?
No doubt. Now, we have a lot of investigations. I know, all you Biden supporters, you guys have been silent as far as Biden being in office. He's been in office for over 30 days now. And as we told you before, in the time that he's been in office, he has signed more executive orders than Trump did in his whole presidency. Now, yes, he's reversing a lot of Trump's executive orders. So now every incoming president is going to be taking their first couple of weeks of undoing their predecessor's work, unless it's the same party. Correct. So you're talking about, that's a lot of executive orders. Not one thing for Black people, the very group that got him the presidency. He signed an executive order ordering law enforcement officials and ICE officials to not target nor profile illegal immigrants. Black folks who are citizens don't even have an executive order or a law that protects us. So you mean to tell me that this man is more concerned about illegal aliens than legal aliens? Because that's what we are. We're nothing more than legal aliens, because they don't want us to be citizens here, but we're legal aliens here. He did that, and yet you Biden supporters out there, and you know who you are. We're not talking about, everybody in this group. You know who you got. You guys are awfully silent because y'all said, well, he only been in office a day. He's only been in office a week. He's only been in office for 30 days. He's only been in office for a year. He's only been in office. Now he's running for re-election. So, Trump's coming back. So we got to get him in there. We got to keep him in there, because if Trump comes back, oh my God, that's what they're going to use you guys at least please let us get something within this administration, because as Jamitra knows and the 5-star knows, once a president is in his second term, he ain't got to do a goddamn thing because he's a lame duck. So fall for that.
And I just want to acknowledge Miss Latanya Whittington. I want to, from the War Zone, extend our deepest condolences due to the loss of your twin sister. I couldn't imagine. It sounds like you also lost a mother not too long ago. And so, again, our condolences. Yeah, the COVID is an asshole, for lack of better words. And so, you know, our prayers are with you, and, you know, asking God to comfort you in this time of your loss. I could never imagine. So our prayers are definitely with you. So yeah, Trump, and then I saw a couple of questions on here. Is the military still in Washington? Yes, spending millions and millions and millions of your money protecting Congress. So yes, they are still there. And somebody else asked another question. Where's your stimulus? It's in thin air, maybe. I don't know. But I'm just really kind of going back to Trump. You know, it's something I've said, even though some people are like, no, he's not coming back. I'm like, first of all, if you understand the entity that is Trump, he is very narcissistic. He gets high on his own supply, and people who get high on their own supply, they don't know limits. They, you know, they can do anything. And I'm not saying things wrong with that. But I mean, after all of the drama and trauma and even deaths that he's caused, he's like, hey, you know what? I'm coming back for round 2. And it's going to be easy for him to do it because while, you know, Joe Biden is in his, second month of his presidency, he really hasn't shown and proved anything, you know, worthy of saying, hey, well, I'm glad I elected him. We know a lot of Black officials or, you know, talking heads and people who are really, yay, Joe Biden. They're upset because he hasn't delivered anything for Black people, which why would he? Never asked him to. Then you have a lot of white people and, you know, everybody else in between are like, wait a minute, you know, we need our stimulus too. And we're still waiting on that. And it's just a lot of nothing from Joe Biden. And so I say Trump will be back and possibly will win, is because he's going to turn off a lot of people. A lot of people are like, hey, we put it on the line for you, dude, and you have delivered nothing. And so, you know, while Trump is everything horrible you can think of for the most part, he did at least get those stimulus checks out in a reasonable amount of time. In fact, the second stimulus check, you know, Congress was dragging his feet and he said, hey, get this money out. So, I mean, yeah, they're leaving the door wide open for Donald Trump or somebody like him to come right on in.
Well, Black folk got to say so, and whether or not Joe Biden can walk the walk again in 4 years. But we have selective amnesia. You know, what happens now, 3.5 years from now, they're going to act like it didn't matter. And they're going to fall for it again. At the end of the day, I've always told people about Trump from day one when he ran. Oh, he ain't got a shot. As long as he in the game, he got a shot. And it's obvious that his base loves him. It's obvious that his base loves him. And there are some things that are being worked on, some voter suppression. I got to call it what it is, that they're going to work on it, and they're going to work on that mail balloting, and they're going to put some things in place, and it's going to be interesting if he decides to run again. So the question is, because I know somebody going to ask it, you want Trump to win? I don't give a damn who wins. It don't affect me. Nothing Joe do affect me. Nothing Trump did affects me. But I'm just telling you, see, the thing about us, I like the fact that we seem like prophets some days. You know, everything we seem to tell you seems to come true. You know, so if you think Trump ain't gonna run, you crazy. You crazy. He gonna run. If he breathing, he gonna run. He loves the attention. But you Black folk with Biden, ain't no way in hell you supposed to support a man that keeps shitting on you. And right now, you know, he farting on you right now. He farting on you right now. He ain't shitted on you yet. He farting on you. But he gonna shit on you in probably year 2.
You know, and here's the thing. Okay, you've got all of this new black media out here telling you and warning you and ringing the bell. I mean, we're basically taking you and we're shaking you and say, wake up, wake up, wake up. And you guys keep falling for the same thing over and over again. Please, let's just try something different. Because if you ask me right now, I'm like the 5-star. It doesn't affect me one way or the other who gets in there. Because when you're, financially independent and you're free as a person, you don't have to worry about stuff like that. But I do worry about those that are going to be left behind and the policies that they're going to do. Because what I honestly believe is what's going to happen is, I know for a fact in 2 years, the Democrats are going to lose the House, and they're going to use that as a damn excuse why they can't get nothing done. And I want you guys to listen to me right now. When they lose that House, that's when they're going to say, oh, we were just about to do something for the black folks. But, the Republicans have the House now and we can't pass it through and, nothing's going to get done. We need to either, and this is what I say we need to do, if Trump runs or if he doesn't run, we need to sit out. We need to sit it out and show both of these parties that, hey, y'all ain't doing shit for us. So obviously you don't need our vote. You guys go have it. And in the next election cycle, you will see these Democrats pay more attention to what we're doing. And we also need to get these useless ass black ain't shit congressmen and representatives out of office as well. And when I say don't vote and sit out, I mean on the national level. I'm not talking down ballot, okay? Don't get it confused. We got to participate in down ballot.
Demetri, I'm trying to figure out what's the conversation going to be if Joe doesn't do anything that he said he was going to do. What do you think the black conversation is going to be to try and make people believe that he needs a second term?
I mean, the same as it's always been since the civil rights movement. They're the party of the people. Or, as Donovan said, when they lose the House and the Senate, they're going to blame it on the Republicans like they did with Obama. His hands were tied. What did you expect him to do? They blocked him. And, all of that nonsense they're going to say. But the same old thing they always say, just, keep selling us a pipe dream that just keep waiting for it like they did last time. Oh, just give him a chance. When he get in there, we're going to hold him accountable. But we've seen a lot of black misleadership have a lot of buyer's remorse in, helping Joe Biden get in there, Kamala too. James Clyburn is, at the beginning was like, Joe Biden needs to deliver for black people. But it's like, you didn't ask him that when he was bringing a plate full of butter biscuits to the church, So they're going to tell us the same thing, the Democrats are the party of people, because you got to remember, too, the Democrats put a lot of money into black organizations, not necessarily because they're trying to help black people, but they're trying to get the vote. So they give a butter biscuit to the helm of whatever black organization, and then that black organization tells the rest of the sheeple Negroes, this is the way you need to vote. The Democrats are your friends. Trump, let's say it's Trump, he's evil. We got to get him out of there. And we keep falling for it instead of voting our better interests, whether it is Trump or, Biden or whatever our better interests. I want to go back to the point you and Donovan both kind of made, saying that it's not going to affect you regardless of who's in office. Well, on one level, it's true. But on another level, it's not true, because if you black, it affects your people. But it's not your fault. It's our fault as a whole, because we, as Dr. Claude Anderson says, are the only group of people that vote as a block against our better interests. And so what the Negro spirituals, as you say, Gary, what they continue to tout for the rest of us, it does affect the rest of us. And as I always say, they mess up the rotation for the rest of us who are saying, let's get something for our vote, even if it means not voting this time, to send the lying liberals, in the words of Malcolm X, a message. So it is going to affect you in the long run.
Well, I got a question. I'm thinking about getting a gallon of milk and putting Kamala's pitch on it. Where's this Negro at? Ever since election day with your chucks and your pearls, where is this woman at? She missing in action. But that's how we do. We pull off a little something and we don't fuck with the hood no more. She ain't fucking with y'all no more. But I'm gonna tell you something, man. That what you just said is the truth. I mean, we'll repeat the cycle again and won't get anything out the deal again. But I got a question for y'all, because words are like bullets. Once you shoot them, you can't take them back. How do you hold a closet racist accountable? Trump, open racist, that's what they say. Joe Biden, closet racist. You're not even holding this man halfway accountable like you did Trump. When the stimulus came out, everybody beaming on this dude, man. When it first came up, we need this money. The man went in there and pushed that money up out of there. Joe, what the problem is, Joe? So my thing is, the Chucks and Pearls is missing. I'm really thinking about seeing if I can get an Amber Alert done to locate Kamala Harris, because we can't seem to find her in no black neighborhood in America. If she go down the street from the White House, she'll be in one, but she ain't gonna do that. But Joe is farting on y'all right now. And I'm laughing because we tried to tell you. We tried to tell you this man is not going to do nothing. He started off that way. He the type of dude, he gonna play the fox in the hen house. He gonna be as nice as he can be. Once you put him in power, he gonna look in your eye and tell you, fuck you. And that's basically what he's doing to us right now.
And he's farting on us with them dirty ass wet farts, the ones that leave this damn shit stains in your drawers and shit, and he don't care, and rubbing it in your face, right? So I didn't mean to be so graphic, but y'all know what I'm talking about. But here's the thing. We got a pandemic going on. They're playing with your money. And you guys just sit there and just go, nope, just going to sit here and wait for Jesus. Nope, just going to sit here and wait. You need that car over there? Nope, don't need it in heaven. This man took $600 million and gave it to foreign countries so that we can continue to have our bases and bribe these strong-arm people. $600 million went over there. $300 million went down to the illegals on the border where he built those new goddamn container storage places for all these illegals. But the American people, the very people that pay these bills and need help, he can't seem to get a check out in a immediately time. Now, I don't know what you guys' definition of immediately is. It's been over a month. And I just happen to know in those sound bites, he said, if you vote Warnock and you turn the Senate blue, those checks will go out immediately. Okay, I'll give them a couple of days. January 20th. Count the days now. Immediately to me is not over a damn month. Okay, so this guy is showing you who he is. And for all you ladies out there that think, well, don't worry about it. He's too old to run. Kamala's going to be the next one. No, Kamala is not. Stop with the bullshit. Hillary Clinton, a white woman, could not win. You actually think a black woman who got bounced out of the damn primary is going to win the presidency? Much less, like the general said, she's missing in action and silent because, her white boo told her to know her place and know her role. She's not going to win the presidency. The Democrats have nobody they really could put up to even go up against Trump because Biden's blowing it. I don't see it happening. I see so many people, millennials and people like that, and even some civil rights era people talking about, well, yeah, he should have been done something by now. Nigga.
Demetri, why are they punking out in the House and the Senate right now? I mean, you can do what you need to do. But you know what? And I know you're gonna expound on it. Remember I told y'all about reparations? She can't bring it to the floor. Pelosi can't bring it to the floor because it would expose some Democrats that don't want you to have it. And it ain't gonna just be white Democrats that don't want you to have it. It's gonna be some black ones. So a lot of stuff cannot get done because your own party that you down like 4 flat tires with are really the ones who holding you back. Because if you got all them votes and we all on the same side, then why you not doing to them what they did to you for 4 years? They shoved everything down your throat with the House and the Senate. You see what I'm saying? They had the votes. Now you got the votes, but you don't want to do nothing. So is it realistic, Demetri, that they can lose the House and the Senate in 2 years?
I mean, don't quote me on this, but as far as I'm concerned, it's already a done deal. You got the presidency, you have the House and the Senate, and you move nothing major for the American people who are at smack dab in the middle of a pandemic, where you still have, some of the highest unemployment rates that they've had since the Great Recession, where people are losing their homes. They, are standing in and waiting in line at food banks, and none of them have delivered any relief. We're talking about relief, just something to start with to say, man, I got a couple extra so yeah, I think it's a done deal. I think, people are going to remember that they put everything they had into helping Joe Biden save the soul of the country. And yet they're still starving, and they said this stimulus check is still going to take some time to come out. It may be, the end of March for all they know, because it still hasn't really passed. But, in regards to Joe Biden and, really not doing anything, or I guess being afraid, well, he's told us time and time again that he has friends on both sides of the aisles, and he's serious. I'm not talking about hey, how you doing? We talking about homies, on both sides of the aisles. You ever known somebody to go to court and maybe they had a public defender or something, and they sat and thought, well, why isn't my public defender really helping me? Why isn't he really going in there, and really trying to free me? It's because he's friends or she's friends with the prosecutor or the DA, and they're going to go have lunch after they lock your black ass up. It doesn't matter to them, because they're friends, and, we're going to put on this dog and pony show. So the same thing is true for Joe Biden. He's not trying to upset the apple cart, trying to piss off his homies in the Republican. You guys remember, or the Senate rather, but you guys remember when Anita Hill was testifying, Joe Biden was the head of the whatever it was committee.
Judicial committee. Mm-hmm.
I keep forgetting that judicial committee, and he let his homies, the Republicans, run roughshod all over her, which when he was running for presidency, this time he apologized. Well, they was my friends, and I let them get away with it, and I should have, put them in check. And then going back to Kamala as to where she's been. Well, Kamala's been around if you've been paying attention, but she ain't around for you. She's been helping write the legislation or tout the legislation of the Asians being attacked and this, that, and the other. Something needs to be done about it. So she told us during that interview, I'm not going to do something that just benefits Black people. What I do for everybody eventually will benefit Black people. So right now, she's doing that everybody thing, and then she's going to get to Black people last, if ever. So that's where she's at.
Like Donovan just said, the bill is going to be stripped down. Biden has already said the $15 minimum wage needs to come out. Why do it need to come out, Joe? Because the Republicans told you it need to come out? How do you live in, quote unquote, one of the richest countries in the world, and you can't afford to give people a livable wage of $15? Now, $15 to me is not a livable wage in California. That's not a livable wage. In the state of Louisiana, you can live like a king off $15. Mississippi, yeah, you can own you a little mini mansion off of $15. But the thing is, why is it so hard to pass it, Joe? You could have put, I wish, I'm going into pimp mode. Joe, you could have wrote the bill and said head for everybody and put it in the bill, and you got enough votes to get it passed. Why? What's the problem? Man, this man is who he is, man. You know the scary part, man, is that it's only going to get worse if you leave him in there another 4 years. Because then he'll be lame duck and he won't care about anything. Say, we got problems, man. We got problems. They in 2024, they're gonna be trying to make America great again and again.
You know, the sad thing with that bill also is the Democrats have to have everybody in line to vote. We know what the Republicans might do and might not do. They want the bill, the $15 out. That was Joe Biden. Kamala Harris caved in to the parliamentarian who's nothing but an advisor that said, you need to take this bill out. She could have overrode that. But isn't it funny? The black sister that's for everybody, you know, doesn't want $15 an hour. She could have overridden the parliamentarian and said, no, we're going to keep it in. But Joe Biden said it has to come out.
Why don't every congressman, senator, whoever up there, Kamala, Joe, they whole motherfucking staff, why don't they work for $7.25 an hour?
That ain't
Let's
gonna
see
happen.
what your motherfucking check look like, Mr. President.
Right. You know, but here's the thing. They're not sure what the Republicans are going to do, but you got 2 Democratic senators that say the bill is too much and the $15 an hour have to come out. 2 Democratic senators. One of them is actually a Republican that we've been telling you for the last couple of years is a Republican posing as a Democrat, Joe Manchin of West Virginia. So if those 2 guys, or one's a female from Arizona, if those 2 senators do not vote in lockstep like they're supposed to, the bill is dead. The bill is dead no matter what happens, what the Republicans do or don't do. But I got to say this about the Republicans. When they say this is what we're going to do, they don't give a damn. If they've got the voting numbers, they ram their agenda through. The Democrats, oh, we got to get everybody. We got to get the numbers. Nah, fuck all that. You got the numbers now. Do it. Get it done. Get it done.
Republicans be pulling kick doors, man. They be pulling kick doors, man. Mitch O'Connell was kicking in the door when they had everything. Mitch O'Connell, you know, I could see, I couldn't be over there. I couldn't be Kamala right now, you know, because the shit come to the flow and we're talking about $15 an hour. And one of them people stand up. Well, I don't think, sit your monkey ass down. You ain't got enough votes to do nothing. Sit your monkey ass down. If you don't sit down, we finna vote on this shit right now. That's how the conversation need to be, because that's the way McConnell did it. McConnell didn't give a damn about Joe Biden being his friend. He did what his party wanted him to do. Demetra?
McConnell, real quick, McConnell even said if Trump runs, he's going to support him.
McConnell half dead.
Well, McConnell's now on the it list with Trump. Trump is pissed off with McConnell right now for, you know, turning on him, if you will. But I think, you know, you really have to ask some real serious questions. And that's why doesn't the Democratic Party fight, you know, more for the American people, like the minimum wage, which is $15, or any of that other stuff? Like, you really have to think about it, because while $15 is not a lot of money for certain parts of the country, it is in other parts of the country. And so if they pass, they being, you know, Democrats, they just run it through or whatever and get people. And now remember, this $15 is not even coming into fruition until 2025. So it's a joke anyway, right? But let's say they get people $15 an hour. What does that do? That makes those people, the minimum wage earners, less dependent upon them. The Democratic Party, their shtick has always been, let's dangle that carrot in front of these people to make them believe that we are the party of the people and their hopes should, rest with us and we're going to save them. So if they actually deliver that money to the real working class people, then they're going to be less dependent. And when you have more money, you typically are able to solve your own problems. And that takes away that illusion that the Democrats put before people that we're here to solve your problems. Well, we know that's a lie because they haven't solved the problem. I'm not saying the Republicans are any better, but I'm saying since the Democrats, they, go off with the whole socialism thing and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, common sense would tell us if they were really interested in solving our problems, they would have done it when they had the chance. Obama had, the presidency, the House, and the Senate, even though he had it for 2 years until 2010, did nothing really with it, especially to help Black people. And Biden is suffering the same fate. He's wanting people to wait when they are out of time. Like, I know it wasn't his fault, the pandemic and all of that, but he cruised in the White House lying, saying that he was going to get the checks out immediately and he was going to, get rid of the pandemic and, all this other stuff, even though the numbers are trending down, but people still need relief. And he's, hey, you guys just keep waiting until I decide to do something about it.
Well, in my hand, you can see what I got right here. We need relief and the Democrats need some nuts. They need nuts. They ain't got no nuts. Ain't none of them up there representing nobody got no nuts. And I'm gonna be honest with you, because I know some of y'all, we don't know what you are, but some of y'all nuts are this big anyway. They ain't got no nuts, man. You can't stand up for the people. They never had an ideology of standing up for the people. So I think we should all just get a simple envelope, put 2 nuts in it, and mail it up to the White House and tell Joe, hopefully you got enough nuts to do what you need to do from this point on.
Absolutely. And how many of you guys noticed that he wasted no time? It was the fastest foreign policy thing that he did. He wasted no time in bombing Syria. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, there's no such thing as dumb bombs in the military anymore. Those mass bombs from World War II, all of that shit was dropped during Desert Storm. Every bomb that is dropped now is over $1 million. They're smart bombs. He wasted no time in dropping millions of dollars. Wow, the Democratic Party, who's supposed to be for the people, these are some war hawks, because I didn't see Donald Trump taking us to war.
That's some feedback.
Yeah, I got some feedback. I didn't see Donald Trump taking us to war. He's trying to pull the troops out. But within less than 40 days, this man is dropping bombs on Syria, antagonizing Iran, continuation of what Trump was doing, just to get us in a war. Now, remember in 1968, or before that, 1966, President Johnson announced the war on poverty. Remember, Martin Luther King was like, yeah, there's a lot of poor people in the South. Senator Kennedy went down there and they were doing this study and they said, yeah, we got to have a war on poverty. Then the Gulf of Tonkin incident happened. So all of that money that was supposed to go help you Negroes went to the war effort and to the manufacturers and these major corporations. And yet the war on poverty was a failure. And there's no money to help us pay our rent, get some food, pay our bills, but they can throw millions upon millions of dollars to illegal citizens, to illegal wars, and to protect themselves at the Capitol. They say it cost over $3 million a day just to protect the lawmakers. So we have no problem with that, and we keep voting these people in with no hope anything else is going to change.
But protecting them from what? They know who ran up in that motherfucker, man. And they ain't got no nuts. They won't even go after the criminals. They ain't got no nuts, man. But I tell you what, they some punks. Hold on, what you talking about? You gonna go bomb Syria? When you gonna go over there and holler at that little dude over in North Korea, man? That man be over there doing some gangster shit. But you won't go to North Korea with that silly shit. They know who to go fuck with. They stay going over there to Iran and all that to steal them people oil. That's what they over there doing, stealing oil. And yet the fucking gas prices is through the roof. A motherfucker need a horse right now. I'm trying to find a motherfucking horse. I'm tired driving, putting all the fucking gas in the car, man.
You might need to go find a skateboard. That's what I'm looking at. It's almost $5 a gallon here in California.
Yeah, they not gonna mess with Kim Jong-un because they know he is about that life.
Man, that man a gangster, man.
About that life.
They tell him, don't shoot off no rockets. He tell them, fuck you. He shoot off 5. They don't do nothing.
And he's begging him. He's like, please, by all means. But what I really want to talk about is it's along the same lines. So you guys know Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York. He finds himself in some hot water. He has had a few women accuse him of sexual harassment, saying some, very inappropriate things to them, asking about their sex lives and things like that. And so now he's under the gun, and you have quite a few Democrats and other people asking him to resign and be held accountable. They want this, originally he was wanting an outside investigation. And then he apologized, saying he might have went too far. All right. Because nobody really knows, right? But the problem that I'm having is that Joe Biden is asking for this investigation too. And I'm like, ain't your hands a little dirty? Did you have a few hundred women accuse you of doing the same stuff?
Did Cuomo, then I'll ask Donovan, did Cuomo grab him by the pussy? Or did he just ask for some pussy? Because Joe, you, Trump, and Cuomo is the grab him by the pussy brothers. Y'all to grab him by the pussy brothers. All y'all doing is playing up under them little girl skirts, man. You old nasty bitch.
Yep. And the sad thing is, like I said, the American people, we have so many things going on that we're so distracted. You guys keep forgetting the Jeffrey Epstein Black Book. And it is alleged that very powerful people are named in that book. Hillary Clinton, as we know, is in there. Bill Clinton is in there. It would be feasible to know that Joe Biden might be in there as well, allegedly. So these people all run in the same circles. So why wouldn't it be feasible that he's doing these things? We already know Trump is like, what did he say? I grabbed her by the pussy, but that one ain't my type. Like I assaulted her, but she's not my type. And that case is going forward. I mean, a lot of stuff is being exposed because people now, this social media, the new black media, we're all talking to each other and we're all coming to this thing. But for those of you guys that really, really vote blue, no matter who, I put the blame on you guys, because the way things are going, if the Republicans get back in power, we have now lost another 12 years to getting our agenda done. And Maxine Waters is 83 years old, and she talking about WAP.
They ought to put a motherfucking rap group together. The little half-deads. It's a whole bunch of them in politics that's casket ready. Maxine casket ready, Mitch casket ready. I love Bernie, but he casket ready too. The motherfuckers is too old to be governing us youngsters, man. And the thing is, I'm telling y'all sending y'all little daughters up there to be them interns for them old nasty motherfuckers, and they playing with them kids, man. Joe Biden don't need to open his goddamn mouth about no Andrew Cuomo. He don't need to open his mouth. And as far as that Epstein Island, that's why they had to kill him. Because all the motherfuckers was up there. You'd have thought they was narcos the way they was beating on that island.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I said earlier. I said I feel a certain type of way about Joe Biden asking for the investigation of Andrew Cuomo. Like, and then the other part too is really disturbing is most of the people who are asking for Andrew Cuomo's investigation or him to resign, he wasn't asking that about Joe Biden. You know, even when he was running, the women kept saying, hey, he cornered me, he grabbed me, he said this, and people was like, so how's the weather? Oh, yes. Oh, it's nice. So, you know, they just glossed over, wasn't even trying to pay attention to it. But now all of a sudden, it's like, how do you overlook one pervert for another? I mean, like they said, a year ago, Andrew Cuomo was the hero. You know, he was saving New York and, you know, curbing the pandemic. And they was even talking about a lot of these people asking him to resign. Oh, he should run for president and throw his hat in the ring and, you know, all this other stuff. And now they're like, yeah, off with his head.
Well, it seems like you got to do that to even be nominated to be president. You got to grab him by the pussy. That's part of the resume.
That's that new shit, man. You know, Clinton had, you know, Clinton was on some Negro shit. He up there getting some head. But not these motherfuckers here, they want to grab you by the pussy. And one grab them by the pussy can't talk about the other grab them by the pussy. It don't work like that. You know, I'm just telling you, it don't work like that. You know, a lot of them got issues up there, man. You know, the white folks is up there grabbing folks by the pussies and the nipples and all that shit. The black ones up there snorting cocaine. They own all kinds of shit. But ain't nobody in Harris County should be talking about no Como need to resign until you start talking about Tasha Jackson need to resign. Worry about the shit in your own backyard.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, and I'm glad that you brought that up because let's transition. 5-Star, you had a fundraiser this weekend, and if you guys did not get a chance to watch the fundraiser, it was a virtual fundraiser. I was a little late to the party, but I got there just in time to see one of the best videos I have ever seen since back in the day. I mean, it was all of that. So how many of you guys have seen that video? And then tomorrow, what I didn't talk to the 5-Star yesterday because every vote counts, every donation counts. I think tomorrow we should have $2 Tuesday donations. Like I said, if y'all can't give out $2 on a Tuesday, we are seriously in trouble as a people. Okay, so we're going to try to kick that off tomorrow. But 5-Star, could you tell us a little bit about that event and how all that went?
I think the event went good. You guys moderated a hell of a discussion. I think that people were able to see me answer every single question that came across. Didn't stutter once because I know it like the back of my hand. And at the end of the day, I'm so grateful for all of y'all that donated. We're gonna be able to do a few things. Of course, I got to call my good friend, the cussing pastor. He's gonna do a commercial for me. And then I'm looking at doing one myself. But that's what we got to do. That's what we got. It's our race to lose. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's our race to lose. And can y'all imagine? See how I'm sitting here? That's how I'm gonna be sitting up there. And you know what I'm gonna be thinking while I'm sitting up there? I know this motherfucker didn't just put this on there, Joe. You're talking about fucking over the kids. Mr. Monroe, you didn't vote. I'm not voting on that shit. I'm not gonna say that, but they already know it's what it is. The event went great. We're gonna do monthly fundraisers as usual, and we're gonna raise money. And I'm gonna be honest with you that the people through your donations, no matter what it may be, $1, $3, whatever, some people are able to give more. That we'll be able to do a lot of things like a traditional candidate. And I want to send a shout out to a cat up in Louisiana because he's making noise right now, Gary Chambers. That boy making some noise down there in the booth, man. And if you in Louisiana, I got a lot of people be watching this show. from the state of Louisiana. Y'all need to vote for that boy, man. Y'all need to vote for that boy, from standing up from Alton Sterling to fighting your school system to getting crooked politicians out of office. You got to get somebody like that in office. The only way we can clean this up, we got to get some good people in. So, today, I spent my day fighting for a teacher. Man, have you ever heard it? An African-American teacher at a school in Houston, the diverse population city they talk about, that ain't got no African-American teachers, no black, white, nothing at the school but Latinos. The whole staff is Latinos. All the kids are Latinos. Well, they had one black one in there until they pissed the teacher off and she unenrolled her child yesterday. You see what I'm saying? You got to put people into place. 05 can handle itself in a business setting. I can handle myself in the boardroom. And just know that it's time for somebody to put African-American children first in education, because they the last, the least, and the lost. But I think we did a great job. And if y'all guys want to help me do that, I appreciate it, man. If you want to donate right now, man, you can donate to the Cash App or the Zelle, and I put the Cash App up. But your money going where it need to go. My campaign treasurer ain't playing them games. She ain't playing them games. So just know, if you donate to me, it's going where it need to go.
Wait, let me do a follow-up with that. Now, I want to talk about that video. Now, I was listening to the lyrics. There's no doubt in my mind you are a master lyricist. There's no doubt in my mind. But putting that video together, I saw you had all the OGs and everybody with you and stuff like that. I mean, tell us a little bit about how that came about.
It really wasn't a storyboard. Normally, when you do a video, you do a storyboard. You put the whole video together basically on a poster board and how you want to do it. As far as formulating the song, I can write a song in 10 minutes. That's the easy part to me, because I ain't got to fake it. I ain't trying to be nothing that I'm not trying to be. I mean, at the end of the day, it was pretty easy to put together. And the crazy part is it was shot. We shot that video, I think, in maybe 3 hours, and they edited it. They did a great job editing the video. But I mean, all the people that you saw in the video are people that supported me, that knew me. It was what it was. They believed in me. So, I mean, even though we didn't win, I got love for them people that went to the polls and voted for me, because that showed me. But black folk, you're going to have to come out your highs on this one. You're going to have to come out your highs, and let's shock the world. Do you understand what's going to happen that night when they finish the voting and they say Gary Monroe won? Man, that's going to be like Charlie Daniels, the devil coming down to Georgia, man. You finna put the OG in the school board? Say, man, business going to pick up, bro, for all kids. Not just black kids, but black kids got to be first, because they don't get nothing out the game. They don't get nothing out the game. So, those that's running against me, good luck. I'm going to destroy you, because you ain't did nothing, but good luck.
And I'm just going to say, for those guys that are watching, if you have not seen that fundraiser, go to YouTube or right here on Facebook and watch it. Within, I guess, the first 3 minutes, the video clicks in. The video is dope. I got to say, it is dope. The way they edit it, the way they cut it, the lyrics in it. If you listen to the lyrics, what he's talking about, go see that video. And I mean, just seeing that video made me want to donate. So please, guys, check it out if you missed it.
And we plan on, somebody asked me about a month ago, are you going to do another video for this run? Oh, yeah, we ready. We ready. I already got the song wrote. I practice every day. And that's just me. I don't have to, but yeah, we gonna set it off. I'm thinking about some jacuzzis this time.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Also, there was no strippers. There was no strip club shots or none of that in the video. So if you're wondering.
No, it was a good, clean video. It was a good, clean video, straight to the point. I talked about the shirt that I had on in the end, the black shirt. that had all the trades that they had taken out of the schools. All the trades that they had taken out, FFA, wood shop, metal shop, cosmetology. They took all that out of our schools. We got to get that back in there. And that's one of my main focuses is getting them back in there. Like from a district standpoint, I got to fight for all the kids. But if you don't want trades in your district, that's your business. But in District 9, we got to get them trades back in them schools.
I just want to touch upon something really quick. I saw somebody mention it earlier at the top of the show, and that's Jackson, Mississippi is still, there's a large part of Jackson, Mississippi that's still without water. As of some places here in Texas and Houston, to be exact, there's places still without water due to the winter storm that took place in Mississippi, and some parts of Louisiana were affected as well. And so specifically Jackson, Mississippi, a lot of them just don't have water at all. They're only, what it looks like, distributing water to the elderly and people who are homebound. No running water, still having to, find water to flush the toilets and, just do the simple things. And unfortunately, those water plants, it sounds like they froze as well. They had very outdated water pipes that froze and burst. And so it's a tragedy for a lot of people. But I saw a news story last night where it says there's an apartment building, Via del Paseo, and a couple other apartment buildings where the water is just not working. The pipes aren't working. And a lot of the landlords are like, we'll get to it when we get to it. And so that particular apartment complex, Via del Paseo, the residents got together and said, we're not paying our rent. We're withholding our rent. They now have mold, no running water. It's just a mess. And the apartment building, the manager, they won't even open the door. They can't, the residents can't even go in there and talk about it, told them to call them, And so in that particular case, the management is like, well, we have plumbers working on it, but they're like, where? And then on the other hand, they say, well, we don't have a time as to when the water is going to be restored. And so the people are like, yeah, we're not going to pay our rent. They have an association there helping them navigate, not paying their rent until they get running water. Because what a lot of people don't realize is running water and hot water, that's not a luxury. That's a right. That's a right. That's not, they're not doing you a favor if you're a renter and you don't have water and they all of a sudden decide to turn it on. That's not a favor. It's what they're supposed to do. And it's against the law. So, in a lot of cases, you are within your rights to withhold the rent. I mean, that's part of the rent, right? Now I guess we understand that the apartment complex didn't have anything to do with the Texas freeze or the winter storm, but where's your maintenance man? You got these people there going on over 2 weeks now with no running water, no potable water, any of that kind of stuff at all. So it's a mess in a lot of areas. And it's really bad for our people.
The state of Mississippi always get hard when something happens. And my prayers are always with them good people down there that's going through it. And the reports I'm getting from Mississippi is that they starting to give water, but they only giving it to the white community. And that is a travesty. And I agree with them. Don't pay the rent. If they not gonna take care of you, then don't pay the rent. Matter of fact, we're on a rent moratorium right now. I wouldn't pay it anyway.
Yeah, there were reports, I don't know if you guys watched on the local news and even on the national news, where landlords are evicting people by gunpoint. So, that shows you how bad that they are looking at getting the old people out and getting other people in so they can raise that rent and make as much money. The greed is unbelievable out here in the United States. And I'm not trying to
say that again. They doing what?
Yeah, landlords are evicting people by gunpoint.
I wish a motherfucker would.
Right. But that goes back to us not arming ourselves. The Democratic Party, we don't need to get guns. We got to get rid of guns. What you gonna do when the guy got a gun and tells you to get the fuck out, even though you've paid your rent or you're legally supposed to stay there?
Close the motherfucking door on him. I'm not even finna talk to you. And if you crack that door and come up in here, I wish a motherfucker would. I ain't got no rent money, bitch. I ain't got no water.
I mean, it's like, what you gonna do? Shoot me? Because I didn't pay the rent. So you think you had problems before I wasn't paying my rent? Just wait till you kill me. You know, then you ain't gonna have no problems worrying about where your rent is coming from, because you're gonna be doing a bid in cell block H for free. Free to you, it's gonna cost us, but
I remember back in the day, we was in an apartment complex and the motherfucker they wasn't gonna come and empty the dumpster no more. You don't have to. We set that motherfucker on fire. That what it was. Motherfucker, you ain't getting no, say man, ain't nobody getting no rent money right now. If you're smart, that's your stimulus money right now. When them people come to your house, tell them one thing. Look, as long as I owe you, you'll never be broke.
You know, and that's the thing. In a lot of states, they have these judges, Republican judges, by the way, are ruling that the moratorium is unconstitutional, and that gives these landlords the right to start the eviction process. And a lot of these sheriffs here in California, it's happening here in California, are Mexican sheriffs, Mexican police are doing the bidding of white supremacy and getting these people out of their homes.
I mean, it just sucks. The whole thing sucks all the way around. You know, other countries aren't having to worry about that. They're getting a monthly stimulus check until things get better, you know, but only here in the United States of America now, you know, it's now operating like a third world country, you know, where you can starve to death. And what is supposed to be the richest, you know, from what they say, you know, the wealthiest country in the world, people are starving to death and being put out of their homes. And you know what they should do is put those landlords on blast. You know, they came, harassed me, to put a gun to me, put their ass all over social media, you know, and put their ass on Yelp and let the next renter know, hey, you know, these people, they're a little cray-cray. But yeah, I mean.
But it's like you say, a lot of us Black folks, we have an appeal to authority. And that's one of our main problems. We appeal to authority, or the sheriff is coming. I tell that sheriff, get the fuck off my property, whatever. And we, you know, and just take it from there. You know?
I ain't answering the motherfucking door. You gonna hear the music, the TV, you gonna hear me walking, and you gonna just be knocking on that motherfucking door. I'm not answering no door because we ain't got nothing to talk about right now. And that's what it is. And if you come there and try to force me out, you ain't gonna be able to rent this motherfucker no way when I get through with it.
Well, I remember in 2007, 2008, after Black people were taken advantage of during the housing crisis, people were pouring cement down sinks and pulling out appliances and just destroying the place because they were duped in a thing. And like I said, I'm not telling anybody to do that, but I'm not going to stop you from doing what you're going to do anyway. So.
You gonna fucking with me, you gonna think Casper the Friendly Ghost went through one of the motherfucking walls, man. Cause I'm gonna go straight through one of the motherfucking walls, man. You ain't gonna have no doors on nothing. Nothing. You ain't gonna be able to rent that bitch for 40 years playing with me.
So Al says, really quick before we get out of here, define poverty and why Black people should get out but stay in.
Poverty? Niggas.
Yep. Poverty is when you do not have the economic resources to sustain your needs to live. I mean, and that's one of our problems. That's why reparations is so damn important. Stop listening to these civil rights era failures. And I'm going to continue to call them failures because, again, where are Black corporations that they're going to pass down? Where are legacy corporations? Where's the legacy businesses that they're going to pass down to the next generation? Where is the legacy wealth that they're passing down? Most of us, a lot of our parents got second and third mortgages on them. They don't even own their own damn houses. And they got the nerve to tell us how we're supposed to do and what we're supposed to do. Don't think so. I ain't buying it.
Poverty is what we see every day. Just take a ride through your local black community. You'll see it firsthand. In Houston, as much money floating through here, we shouldn't even see half the stuff we see. But it's there. But you need to figure out who the poverty pimps are. Who are those poverty pimps? Who pimping the game to keep us stuck in poverty? They make money off of poor people's demises. You really think them people out there passing out all that motherfucking water for free? Man, them motherfucker making a mint right now. Final thoughts, Ms. Demetra.
I just want to I leave my final thoughts with this, with Al's question, if you will. Poverty happens, but it doesn't have to continue. Poverty happens to a lot of people for a whole lot of reasons, and a lot of reasons are unavoidable, but you don't have to stay that way. Now, this is where it's going to suck for a lot of people who are not going to use critical thinking when I say this. Everybody is where they are because they want to be. I'll say that again. Everybody is where they are because they want to be, because of your mind frame, whether you're somewhere good or whether you're somewhere bad, whether you're rich or you're poor, you're there because you want to be, right? It's your belief system. If your belief system is off and you don't believe you deserve anything other than poverty, if you believe that because your mama and her mama's mama, was in poverty and you believe that should be passed down to you, it's because you want to be there. So the minute you change your mind frame and you believe that you are worthy and you deserve more, and you start working toward removing yourself, because poverty is ultimately a state of mind. It's not really even a physical thing. It's a state of mind. It's what you believe you deserve. And when you start to believe you deserve more, then you'll move on to bigger and better things. But again, like I said, poverty happens, but it doesn't have to continue.
Absolutely. I want to leave my final words with Shakila. I hope I'm saying that right. Rambus. She says, I was watching and saw the video. I didn't know 5-star could throw down like that. Laugh out loud. But I've only been following the war zone for a month. And this is what it's about. This is what we start this thing for, to give you the knowledge. And like I said, Shakila, please continue to spread the word, like and share. This is the only way we are going to better our situation, because these bastard politicians ain't giving a damn. We need to exchange ideas and find a different way to do it. California does it different than Houston. Houston does it different than California, Atlanta, whatever. But we've got one thing in common. We are all black, and black is the future.
Donovan called it, so remember $2 Tuesdays tomorrow. If you can donate $2 to the campaign, I'd appreciate it. Because if I win, then the kids win. If I lose, I'm telling you, they're going to decimate them. They're going to decimate them. It's hell being black, man. A lot of days our skin is our sin. It's not anything that some of us have done. We just woke up, when we were born black. But I tell you what, man, I'm sort of like Demetra. You become what you want to become. That's totally up to you. Because sooner or later, you're going to get a break. Now, if you don't take advantage of it, that's your business. On Thursday nights, you could take advantage of a bunch of breaks with Walter when he on here. But how many of y'all have done that? Come on, you can't keep crying about your situation if you ain't willing to change some things. So, with that being said, I mean, it is what it is. That's all I can tell you. But me, I'm just happy to be here, man. Man, I got one of the best lives in the world. I get to come on here every night and talk shit. And they don't like it. And ain't nothing they can do about it. Say, man, we the best in the business for a reason. It's the war zone. I want to thank my good friend, Donovan Sadiq. The Queen, Demetra Kate. I am the 5-star general, Tasha Jackson. I take a road trip tomorrow, baby. I'm live in Austin, Texas. And I ain't going to look at the state capitol. I'm going to get your ass out that seat. So go run over there and tell Daddy Turner, Monroe on the loose. But guess what? I'm probably the only Negro in town that he does not control. Until tomorrow night, we'll holler at you.